this market has been crazy for the last little while, and that there's still a lot of optimism out there. And even though we're selling a lot of 3-year fixed, that maybe right now you should consider variable, especially after that information that I shared with you about TD and the forthcoming potential cuts.
But
that
don't
are
go
gonna
talk
happen,
to TD.
right? Don't go talk to TD. Give me a shout.
Talk to
me.
Tony.
I'll go talk to TD.
The first-time buyers, I know they're fatigued, but they really got to come back to the market, I think. I think it's a good time to get in. I know it's been difficult with the rates, the pricing, but I think going forward, prices are going to continue to rise eventually. So you got to get in. You got to wet your feet, wet your beak, wet your feathers.
Yeah, no, and I think your bottom line's much better than mine. I agree with you 100%.
Oh, it's even better when I say that the Bruins are going to win tonight.
Hey.
Hello and welcome back to the Bottom Line Podcast. This is episode 9. I'm here with Mike from Remax.
Hello.
And we have Tony here from Sherwood Mortgages.
Yes, sir. That's me.
We're back. We're back to filming another episode, and we're excited and we're ready to go. It's May 4th right now. So may the 4th be with you, of course.
Yes, sir.
Right? For all our Star Wars people out there, it's a big day for you guys, of course. Also, big day for I'd say big day for Leaf fans today, right?
Yeah, for the city. We got Game 7 going on tonight, buddy.
Yes, sir. Game 7.
Can they end the curse?
Yeah, the curse of the Bambino.
Not quite. The curse of the Bruin.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Me?
Me. Oh, Mr. Actually predicted every game.
We've been talking about it for
what? Our whole life. Yeah, we know the story. It's the same
the last 8 years.
No, but I predicted the last 6 games.
To yourself, not to us.
No.
You probably in his head. I think this guy.
Don't start that. Every game. I've called you. I've spoken about it every day.
Okay.
Yeah,
what's going to happen? Answer this for what's going to happen tonight.
I'm 6 for 6.
Okay. Are you what is going to happen tonight? Make yourself 7 for 7. There's some free betting news for everybody.
I'm going to say we're going to slay the dragon tonight. We're going to slay the dragon tonight. 2-1. Willie scores, and everybody's fan favorite, not right now, Mitch Marner scores. That's my thought.
Mikey?
They lose.
They lose.
They lose. Doesn't matter if Austin Matthews plays or if he doesn't.
That was the question. That's the question I was going to ask.
I didn't even think about that. Is it out yet that he's playing or not? Did they say anything?
We don't know. We don't know. If Austin is healthy, do you play him?
Yeah, you have to play him.
Do you?
If you lose,
do you?
Well, Keith, he's done anyways, regardless, I think. But
well, I mean, if they have a deep run, Keith is going to stay. Yeah. That's my assumption. But what do you think?
About whether you play him or not?
First of all, are they going to win? Or are they going to lose?
Yeah, let's start with that.
Because I'm 6 for 6.
I give him the L.
I was talking about this beforehand.
Yeah.
There's a certain gentleman who doesn't really speak on sports often.
Yeah, he's very hush-hush.
He's very quiet.
Yeah. He's calculated.
He's very calculated. Never wrong. He predicted the Euro when Italy won the Euro. He predicted the World Cup when Italy won the World Cup. He doesn't speak often, but when he speaks, people listen. It's my father. Okay, when it comes to sports. He said, they're going to win the Stanley Cup. And so for that to be true, it means
they have to win.
It means they're winning tonight, guys.
I'll tell you right now, if he said it in front of me, I'd believe it 100%. Anything he says, I believe.
Yeah. And it's in terms of Matthews, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let him sit. Let him be sick for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
And then throw him in the second round.
Stomach bug.
Yeah, he's sick.
He's sick. Yeah.
Got a torn motivator cuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's no way he has a stomach bug.
No, not for that long.
You miss this?
They pop all kinds of IV drips in these guys. There's no way.
No chance. He's been a baby.
I agree with you too, though. You don't play, unfortunately.
I think it's
You're back in game 1 for us to get swept by Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
No, they're going to win the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
Don't forget.
So we'll see what happens tonight. Well, you guys know. Well, I'm sure once you guys hear this, we'll already know if we were right or wrong. So comment below and tell us if you agreed with us or disagreed with us. Don't lie either, because you know the results now. But nevertheless, we're back. Episode 9. We are going to be talking about what's going on in the spring market, what's happening with rates, what's happening with the market, what's happening with different buyers and sellers. This is going to be all things related to the spring market. And let's start off. I'll ask a question to Tony. we'll bring you right into it, Till.
Sure, thanks.
What types of products are you selling right now to clients?
Well, for the last little while, because things have been so uncertain in terms of when or if these rates are going to get cut, the most popular product's been a 3-year fixed, right? It's been the most discounted on the fixed side, and people want some stability, but they also don't want to be tied in for too long, right? So the 3-year is kind of like that sweet spot that we've seen with a good discount, a good rate, comfortable rate, and doesn't really, tie you in for too long of a term. The 5-year, of course, is always going to be cheaper than that 3-year, but you're in for 5 years, right? So the penalty to break and all that jazz is much bigger. So the 3-year fix has been very common, and we're just selling a lot more B and private deals because people aren't qualifying on the A side. It's just
it's tough.
very basic in that regard, right?
Yeah.
It's simple math. Rates are really high. People were struggling to qualify before. Now with rates even higher, they need some very, very special tailored type of products, and you only see that on the B and private side.
Yeah.
Right. So what about you guys? Are you seeing that there's a lot more active buyers, or?
Yeah, I would say there's our clients in specific, and I'm sure Mike would agree. We have more active buyers right now for sure, which is, I guess, not the norm or the popularity. The popular thing I should say to do right now because interest rates are very high, but we are ourselves seeing a lot of first time home buyers coming out and getting ready to purchase and going on the hunt and looking. But like I said, it's not the popular thing to do right now, and that's mainly because of interest rates. Right, interest rates are elevated, but they do say I'm sure everybody heard this famous quote before: when people are afraid, that's when you attack. Right, and that's when you're going to see the most results in the money
so
that
to
you
be
spend.
clear, you're out of your client group, you're seeing still a big portion of first-time home buyers?
Yeah, I would say our largest portion is definitely first-time home buyers. Personally, just for us, I think right now as a market, the first-time home buyers are decreasing a bit actually because of what's been happening, the rates. But for us, it's been first-time home buyers.
First-time home buyers all the way.
Because they've been on, we've been working with these buyers for 2 or 3 years now. They've been waiting on the sidelines.
Yeah. So what can a first-time home buyer scoop up in this market? What type of properties are they actually able to purchase, right? Given the high interest rates and the fact that, like from my understanding, home prices have taken a bit of a hit, but they're still
high,
astronomically high, right? So what type of properties can you get as a first-time home buyer?
We try to gear our clients, if possible, towards a townhome or a single family detached, maybe a single family 1-car garage, semi-detached, and even a smaller townhome, as long as it's freehold. And that doesn't mean everybody has to buy freehold by any means. But what we do tell our clients is if you can afford it and if it's possible, you qualify. Yeah. Those are the words you guys use. Yeah, that's exactly. We say if it's possible.
If you can debt service.
If you can debt service, yeah. No, if you can afford it.
The ratios are in line.
And it keeps everything, you want to answer the question?
No, go for it, buddy. Go for it.
No, if it keeps everything in line, townhouse, semi, first time, a single family detached, 1-car garage, nothing huge, under 2,000 square feet is perfectly fine. Get your feet wet. Just wet your beak a little bit because at the end of the day,
dabble in the water.
We gotta get the notebook. We gotta get that notebook out again.
Yeah.
All right, get your feet wet, dabble.
Wet your beak a little bit because at the end of the day, those are the properties that are going to see the most maturity as opposed to condos, right?
Yeah. So you don't like condos?
No. I know, and it sounds like we don't like
resale or pre-con or in general condos.
Go ahead, Mike.
Go. Jump.
When we try, you might be quite bad. When we look for our clients, we're not just looking at just the purchase. It's like the long term. Yeah. And for me and Lou, I think we both agree that homes, townhomes, single family homes, they're going to go up in value more than the condos, right? Yeah. Like as you see right now, Lou, the condo market downtown is taking a bit of a hit right now.
Yeah, and condos keep, like you see the way there's how many cranes are in the sky? I think we have most cranes per. I don't know what per capita. Per capita. No, I think it's per square kilometer, to be honest. In Toronto, so those cranes are, they're
in Toronto in
in relation to I think it's in
It's
relation to the
North
world,
America.
but don't quote me on that.
We
We'll
have
look
to-
it up. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Fact
And
check,
we'll let
fact
you
check.
guys know for sure.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
fact check us on that one.
yeah.
But
I think it's.
has-
I read something along.
There's
those
some
lines,
truth
so.
to it. I promise you
Yeah,
that.
there's a lot of condos being built, therefore a lot of cranes
Yeah,
in the sky in Toronto compared to other cities
exactly.
around North America or possibly the world.
And like
And
Mike
that-
said as well, condos for our clients, it's not that we would say, no, don't buy a condo. If that's what you can afford, it's still an incredible
'cause you
purchase
get-
if it gets your feet wet,
Exactly.
right? But if you can go the extra mile and get even a small townhouse, a 2-bedroom townhouse, a back-to-back townhouse.
Like, for
right?
example, instead of going for a 3-bedroom condo, maybe get a 2-bedroom townhouse
Yes.
Mhm.
if it works for you.
Because that price point might be similar.
It might be similar because of the maintenance fees of a condo, right?
Mhm.
Typically,
It might make you very close to the
absolutely.
same price.
If your maintenance fees are around $500 a month, that
Mhm.
typically gives you around, depending on the interest rates, maybe $80,000 to $100,000 of more spending power. Depending.
Maybe more, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and if you're getting a bigger condo than a 1-bedroom, maybe you're getting a 2-bedroom because you need an office or a den or a nursery for a newborn coming into the
small
family.
yeah.
Who knows, right? Then your maintenance fees might be $700, $800,
Yeah,
$900
at that point.
with one parking spot. Then you got to rent a parking spot. So it's like what's
a parking spot going for nowadays?
It depends.
Depends where.
Depends where you are.
I remember I was trying to buy a place in Maple, a condo in Maple, and that was like 2017.
Well, yeah.
It was $25,000
No,
for a
you
parking
can't.
spot.
That's in existence.
And I
Those
thought
days are
at
gone.
that time, ludicrous.
Yeah.
Right. I was just no, thank you. Like just no way.
Yeah.
So
That same spot right now is at least $50,000.
You know which one
Yeah.
I'm talking about,
I
right
know,
there
yeah,
by
Go.
By the
Go.
Go,
Yeah,
Maple
Go
Go.
to
Pembroke. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, they're beautiful.
They're
condos.
beautiful. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong,
Yeah.
but at that time I was very taken aback by that price. So what does it go for?
There, I
Double?
would say you're looking at least 50
Yeah.
Wow,
right now.
that's
yeah.
in Maple.
Yeah.
Maple.
Toronto, close to 100,
100
upwards of 150. Depends where you are.
For a
which
spot.
depends which area.
Yeah, depends where
Remember,
you are
we
in
were
Toronto.
looking in Toronto, it was like 75K. It was like,
Yeah.
what, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah.
And so they're really, really trying to just make sure you don't own a vehicle
Yeah.
in this downtown
Walk.
core.
It's
Right?
good
That's-
for you.
That or the whole you own nothing, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be happy.
You
Right?
can own a pair of shoes that go step by step. You can
And
walk.
you walk,
around,
camina,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Get your New
Or
Balance.
get on your bike. get on a bike and make your way down.
Yeah.
Right. So in terms of these, if people aren't being geared towards these condos, like you're saying, right? You're gearing them towards townhouse.
We are.
back to back.
Yeah.
That's you guys specifically.
Yeah.
It's
As a long-term investment. You're
yes.
saying that the condo is not going to appreciate at the same rate those types of homes are
Typically.
And
typically.
I'm not to bash other realtors either, but I find that they might push condos more
Mhm.
because it's an easier buy right now. Like, I think it's tougher to buy a townhouse, like in terms of competition wise,
Absolutely.
as
yeah.
opposed to buying a condo because there's so many. So as an agent, your client says this is their budget. Okay, let's put you in a
For the
condo.
here,
It's easier,
go
right?
Buy it and
Yeah.
it's done.
Well, I can give you. Let's cut into a story time. Should we cut into a story?
Let's do
time?
it.
If
Since
you have a
Mike
good
Let's do it.
story,
segued me?
if he set you
Well,
up,
yeah, no,
if he threw the alley.
I have a client who's looking for a first time property. We're looking at townhomes, semis, like we were just suggesting. And there was a townhome that was for sale, priced low, like priced below market value, which is the strategy of the seller, whatever the case may be. Anyways, I think there was 13 offers on the property, 13 or 14, something like that. We were top 3. We were also very serious about the property. The bidding war, usually the way bidding wars happen on bidding war night is, you put in your offer around 5 p.m. You hear back 6, 7 p.m. You hear, do you need to improve? Where do you fall? Kind of like in where like you place in terms of the bidding war.
Mhm.
And then you have a chance to improve, or if you don't want to improve, you don't improve, so on and so forth. So it drags on throughout the night, but usually by midnight, everything's wrapped up.
Yeah.
And if you're getting the property or not.
Yeah.
Usually, not always, but usually. So anyways, we were top 3. We didn't go in with our best number. We went in with a strong number to make sure that they knew we were serious. We ended up improving. Long story short, it was us and another buyer that we were fighting against. But we always tell our clients before anything, we have a conversation before the bidding war night, set a cap and hold at that cap, because things can get very emotional on bidding night or bidding war night, I should say. You might want to, yeah, it sounds kind of like the war room, like we always talk about. Things can get a little crazy, right? If you want to spend $1 million and that's your absolute cap, and we're at $995, and you got to go to $1,020,000, $1,030,000, $1,040,000 to get the property. There's times where it's 11 p.m. You're tired, and you're like, what?
Like, whatever's going to get it done.
Just do it. Yeah. But that's why we always have that conversation with our clients. Let's talk.
So you had your cap.
We talk about the market value. We talk about the comparables. We make sure we do the market research. We present all the information, and then our clients decide on what their cap is going to be. It's not us, obviously. At the end of the day, it's their money that they want to spend, and we hold with that cap. So that's a conversation we had before that. Anyways, long story short, top two. It's about 11 p.m. We're almost at that cap. We're not there yet, but we're almost at that cap. We're hoping we don't have to go to it, obviously, right? But we're not too far off from it. I get a phone call from a realtor asking us, it's got to be like 11:15, 11:30 now, saying, hey, Luca, just calling. I wanted to ask you a question. Do you guys want to purchase the treehouse playset in the backyard? And I was confused. I said, what do you mean? And she said, do you guys want to buy the playhouse? Because my clients want to sell it for about $5,000. And I said, we don't want to purchase the treehouse, but we want to purchase the home. Which is what we don't want a treehouse. We want which is what we put an offer on the home. But thank you for the offer. But no, we don't want to purchase the treehouse. She said, okay, thanks. No, we just wanted to ask you. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for asking. No, thank you though. Usually when that conversation happens, it's typically those are like small little details of the purchase. Like afterwards, right? It's an afterthought, or like, okay, we've agreed on a price now. Would you guys want the dining room table? Would you guys want
the gym,
the kumo, the side table, whatever? You know what I mean? Yeah. So no, sorry, we don't want it, right? But thank you, and we'll hear from you soon, type of thing. Once the offer is accepted
at 11:30 at night.
Yeah. Anyways, long story short, 20 minutes later, pass by, I get a phone call, hoping it's a phone call saying, "Hey, congratulations! Here's accepted offer, so on and so forth. Here are the next steps." Yeah, sorry, we actually sold the property to somebody else. I said, sold the property to somebody else? Oof. What happened? They wanted to buy the place at Treehouse. So they bought it for $5,000, and that was the determining factor. And it was 11:30. I was a little delusional. I, obviously saw a little red. Kept it very professional though. But what kind of negotiation is that? I've never, to me, we've been through a lot of bidding wars over the last 5 years, but to offer somebody 11:30.
What did they want for this?
You know what? I left out a very important point of the story. So on the MLS agreement for agents, when we see the MLS agreement, there's inclusions and exclusions. The treehouse was excluded.
Out.
They wanted to take it with them, and then at 11:30 they wanted to sell the treehouse. So basically, this treehouse lost us.
It's a big. How many square feet? Can you rent it out?
I would. You know what? Price per square foot. This thing was good for Yorkville. Price per square foot wasn't worth $5,000, anyways.
$5,000.
$5,000. Neither here nor there. If this realtor just called me and said, "Hey, Luke,
that's the difference. $5,000.
Well, it is the difference. Yeah, you're right. Actually, it is the difference. Yeah. Right? But if this agent called me and just said, "Hey, Luke, you're not quite there yet. We need $5,000 to make the deal done."
You guys weren't. They weren't.
And didn't ask me to buy the playhouse. We had room.
Yeah. You weren't at that cap. You weren't at that cap yet.
It was honestly, when I had to call my client and let them know what happened, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I was dumbfounded.
You should have bought the tree.
I was dumbfounded. It was insane. I was like, we didn't get the house. And I had to explain why.
Because you didn't buy the treehouse.
Safe to say they weren't happy with the other party.
That's crazy. But that's on that realtor.
Here's what this leads to. And I don't know where we came from with this story.
I don't know.
I dragged this for a bit.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry. But
okay.
when you have a realtor communicating to other realtors and they're negotiating on your behalf, you got to hope they're negotiating properly, because at the end of the day, one, they could have kept their treehouse that they wanted from the beginning, and two, they probably could have got more than $5,000 out of us, because we weren't at our cap.
Yeah, you were still how far away? You remember how far away you were? Maybe 20?
No. We never know how far away we are.
No, how far away you were from your cap.
Oh, well, we had room. Put it that way. Yeah, we had room.
But even if we came up $4,000 and then didn't take the treehouse, and then they sold the treehouse themselves for $2,000 or $3,000, they would have made more money, technically, right?
Yeah.
Just you got to negotiate properly.
Yeah. And if she just called me and said, "Hey, you guys need to come up $5,000," it would have been done. They would have made more money. But instead, I was asked, do we want to buy a treehouse? The wording of everything
it's
was
like,
just,
hey, you want to go out for a bite?
I do.
It's the same. It's the same. Like it's in that moment. What do you like? It's not related really to. Like, do you want to buy that house or not? Because if you don't, we're not going to sell you the
she could have even put it that way. Yeah.
Right.
Even
like
as crazy as that sounds, she could have easily said that too. Right. Like, hey, you must buy the treehouse.
Yeah.
As nuts as that sounds, if I heard that, maybe the conversation would have been a little bit different. Right.
Mike, for you, if you hear this story, does it make you want to pull out
I called him. I had to call him at midnight.
Does it make you want to?
I wish I had it. I wish I had a red flag.
I have one.
Come on.
I forgot it. I forgot it. I'm so sorry. I know.
It's okay.
This is
wave the red pen.
The saga
please.
of the
red pen.
Okay, the red pen. That's a red flag for you?
Yeah, it's a red pen.
flag.
How would you summarize this?
The red
color
flag.
Of this pen
Tell me what color.
How would you summarize this red flag?
The red flag is that you need to be able to negotiate as an agent. Like it is a huge part of our job. And if you cannot negotiate, that's a red flag to me.
And like
it's simple as that. Like
what could this person could have just worked on basic communication skills here. Yeah. Right.
Basic
be transparent, being more clear.
There's go ahead.
No. Keep going. I was gonna say
this is your segment. No, it's just red flag. Keep going.
I know, but we deal with this all the time. It's not even this is one case that's like pretty extreme, but we deal with this all the time. There's agents, they give you no indicators of where you sit, where you lie, and then you lose out on a deal, which you could have had easily, and you would have benefited their client just because they don't know how to negotiate.
One thing I will say to add to that is bigger and better things are happening with this client. So I think it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Not to say that house wasn't great for them. The house was great for them, but there are other options that came up, and everything does happen for a reason. We all know that. We've seen it many times, right? So definitely, there's things on the horizon that are going to be much better.
This kind of this story just sparked a little bit of a question I've been thinking, and it relates to our overall topic of this spring market.
Yeah.
Imagine that was a condition, right? Like you can have this house on the condition of, buying this, right? So that's what it made me think of. It's like, she might as well have put it in, right?
Yeah.
In that regards, right? But on a realistic standpoint, what type of conditions are we actually seeing? Like real conditions? Like are we seeing conditions in this spring market right now?
Yeah, I think we're back to conditions, mainly financing and inspection.
Financing and inspection
are the main
before
two that I'm
seeing.
seeing.
Go in at all, like
before, yeah.
Well, when it was. Yeah, when it
picking
was
up, right?
Yeah.
But now they're back.
In the winter, it was a little crazy. You can still put in a condition if your offer was strong enough, for sure. But right now, you can, depending, and you know what it is, every listing is unique. If there's a realtor listing, way below market value, chances are there's going to be 14, 15 offers, like the situation we were in. So you can't really put in a condition in those scenarios because you probably will lose out. You could put in a condition. Will you win? Highly unlikely. Right. But that's why we always make sure our clients are prepared. And when we talk to you, obviously, first, and we make sure that you get the numbers for them to make sure that they're prepared. Say, hey, you guys are good up until this number here, because
it's as important as ever to be pre-approved.
Well, because then you can drop that condition, right? Or you can even drop it to a day or 2 days. Let me just bring this paperwork to my mortgage broker and let them see exactly what I purchased and ask them, can we do this? Yes or no? Here's all the information. Can we do this?
We're constantly updating pre-approval files. People right now, people have started new jobs, or people who have completed their tax returns and things like that. And it can change your approval rates, right? So it's ever so important now more than ever to continue to get pre-approved before you venture off and start shopping, because you could be wasting.
We won't take anybody out until right, and not because 100%. We're just being for lack of a better word, rude in any way, but if we're taking you out to go see properties and you're not pre-approved, we're wasting your time. Obviously, our time is being wasted as well. But everybody's time is being wasted.
The sellers, the buyers. You
guys have, people have families, people have work, people have a lot of other commitments, right? So to go look for a property is a task in itself. It's a big commitment in itself. Obviously, it's one that's going to be very rewarding and it's going to be something for your future. But nevertheless, it still takes commitment to go look for those properties, right? So why are we going to make you waste your time if you're not ready to purchase?
You've got to get pre-approved right now. rates are, they're at a spot where.
So this was my next question for you. I wanted to ask you before you get into it. Like, what do you think's gonna? The next announcement, I believe, is June 5th.
June 5th, next Bank of Canada rate announcement.
Yeah. So then my question was going to be, what are your predictions on that? What do you think is going to happen? Obviously, we don't have a crystal ball, but based on the information we have.
Yeah. So literally up to the date type of information. Yesterday, the news was all over the place in terms of bond yields taking a hit because there was some unfavorable jobs data released from the U.S. Right. So bond yields went down 9 basis points, and that really improved the odds of a cut in February. In June.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lost in the sauce.
June. I said January. Then after,
Wow.
Let's recap that. Increase the odds of a cut on June 5th. Tremendously, right? So a lot of people are now leaning towards that cut actually happening. You hear Tiff Macklem coming out saying that, we're in a downward trend, and, inflation, it did tick up last month, 0.1%, but it
was based on.
Yeah. Sorry?
Was it based on something though? Was it based on like?
Well, there was gas prices that just went through the roof, right? Carbon tax, took effect.
Obviously, it's going to go up.
All kinds of different factors, right? But overall, core inflation was starting to trend downwards, right? So it's been a while since there's been a 2 in that inflation number, right? March of 2021 was the last time there was a 2 in that inflation number, right?
Yeah.
So we're getting closer and closer towards, and if you remember March of 2021, things were wild still back then in terms of the real estate market, right? So
2022.
It was March 2021 too, right?
Was it?
That's the last for inflation, right? In terms of inflation, right? Yeah. So it's just overall things are all looking promising in terms of that cut, and a big indicator is that TD Bank right now is extremely bullish on their variable discounts. Right, you're getting over a point on that discount, 101 basis point discount, off of prime rate, which no one else is doing.
That's huge.
That's setting the stage for a very competitive mortgage market going forward.
Yeah.
And what are other people at?
Sorry?
What are other banks at?
Nowhere near half a point.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Maybe 0.6, 0.7, right? But they're a full basis point. And then imagine if, a broker buys that down further or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So,
and that's through the broker channel, obviously.
That's through the broker channel. You can get it at the branch too, but why do that?
Yeah.
And
well, you have the best part about it is you have the option of going back to these banks and saying, hey,
it's they're just setting the bar. They're kind of taking that stance, and it's very promising for us with our outlook going forward.
That's
so
great.
To answer your question, seeing the jobs data from the U.S., inflation, how it's trending, and we're looking forward to Canada's unemployment rate. I think if that comes out, it's sad to say, but if it's high unemployment rate, the chances of a cut quarter point, they've gone up astronomically, right? There's like a 3 and 4 chance now. So I'm going to say that it's not going to happen. It won't happen in June.
Oh, wow.
I don't think it will happen in June.
I'm surprised. I thought you were going to say it was going to happen.
Just because I don't trust these guys. Like, if everything's pointing towards doing it,
he lost faith.
They're not going to do it, right? So the minute we think it's not going to happen is when I think it'll happen.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to happen a little bit later in the year. And
not right now.
We will still see one more hold.
Hold tight.
One more hold.
Hold on.
To make the summer just that much more stressful, and
not looking at the numbers or anything like that. I'm pretty sure I heard Doug Ford and Chrystia Freeland say something about how the interest rates must come down. They have to come down.
They're requesting it.
They're requesting. And my thought is,
Chrystia Freeland, I don't know if she's requesting it, but I know Dougie.
I heard Dougie say that.
For sure.
And
Dougie's for the people.
I feel like I like the way he thinks is like, if I'm saying something, I know it's going to happen. And I could be very wrong, but politics isn't my thing. But when he says something like that, my thought is, yeah, it's already a far gone conclusion. They're coming down.
Oh yeah, but it's just the when. Well, everybody knows. Yeah, they're gonna come down. They're not going up.
My whole point is he said it between last announcement and this announcement. So my thought is it's
this
now.
one.
There's no basis behind that. Obviously, it's just my thought.
Fair. No, that's fair. As you're putting your politic hat on there and trying to guess. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that it's gonna get cut June 5th. I could be. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's
right. For all of us, I do. Yeah. I do genuinely hope, but.
I think they're gonna do it. They're gonna drop it. Yeah. They've said it so many times. Like now, like come on.
Yeah, it's almost
people are gonna lose faith in you.
You're dangling it in front of people's face. Yeah, let's see. Who knows?
What about you? You think?
I think it's gonna come down
because of Dougie.
So 2 yeses.
The Dougie factor.
I also think the Leafs are gonna win.
Dougie Gilmore.
Right,
bring him out. Right, that's how you relate.
Doug Ford and Dougie Gilmore.
Doug and Dougie. No, it's
the double Doug.
Double Dougie. Teach him how to Dougie.
Okay, I think with that being said, this is loaded for spring. Yes. This was a loaded spring.
Yeah, we could keep going if we really wanted to.
We could, but you know what we'll do? We will be back. We will be back.
After these
Stay tuned
for episode 10. Where
bottom line, buddy.
Yeah, I know we're gonna get into many more topics that you guys want to listen to. We've taken all the feedback that you guys have given us to, and we're so grateful for it. And we're gonna incorporate that in our next episodes. And we hope everybody has
a bottom line.
Yeah,
we need a bottom line. This is called the bottom line. We need a bottom line.
What's wrong with me? Wake up.
My bottom line is
too early in the morning. I'm thinking of the Leafs. My bottom line is Matthews doesn't play. Nylander scores, Marner scores, 2-1, gets swept by Florida. We'll see you in 2025 with new coaching staff and new front office. That's my bottom line today.
Boom. I like it. My bottom line is that this market has been crazy for the last little while, and that there's still a lot of optimism out there. And even though we're selling a lot of 3-year fixed, that maybe right now you should consider variable, especially after that information that I shared with you about TD and the forthcoming potential cuts.
But don't go talk to TD.
Right? Don't go talk to TD. Give me a shout.
Talk to
me.
Tony.
I'll go talk to TD.
Tony.
And then, we'll take care of you. And Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup.
My bottom line is the first-time buyers, I know they're fatigued, but they really got to come back to the market, I think. I think it's a good time to get in. I know it's been difficult with the rates, the pricing, but I think going forward, prices are going to continue to rise eventually. So you got to get in. You got to wet your feet.
Yeah.
Wet your beak. Wet your feathers.
Yeah. No, and I think your bottom line's much better than mine. I agree with you 100%.
Oh, it's even better when I say that the Bruins are going to win tonight.
Hey. Never mind. Don't take that.
Take that back. Take that.
All right. With that, thank you for tuning in to Bottom Line, episode 9. We can't wait to bring what episode 10 has in store for you guys. And thank you for tuning in, subscribing. Again, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, and you're going to catch all of our reels on Instagram as well. So definitely tune in, give us feedback, share, like, whatever the case may be. We appreciate everything. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next episode.